This is your dose of daily market wisdom with master trader Nick Santiago. Starting from humble beginnings, Nick has been beating the markets for over 2 decades. He shares with you his take on the profitable trades that will have you moving towards financial freedom in no time at all. To see an in-depth review of his track record and much more, go to inthemoneystocks.com. Welcome. This is your daily dose of daily market wisdom with master trader Nick Santiago. I'm Kerry Lutz. Today is 11/17/20, and this is show number 161. Well, I think maybe it's sell on Monday and go away. Should that become the name of this show, Nick?
Kind of. It seems like every time we get a Monday rally, and I've been talking about this for the last few months, we get a lot of backing and filling afterwards. And this week being an options expiration week, meaning this Friday is options X for the month of November, I'm not really surprised to see a pullback today. And the markets are pulling back. It's kind of a broad-based decline with the exception of the stay-at-home stocks. They seem to be doing well. Then you have a few pharma names that are doing well. But it really is something. When you get that big rally on Monday, the rest of the week is just a lot of backing and filling.
Hey, so what about the Microsoft vaccination company? What are they doing today?
So you're talking about mRNA, which is Moderna, and today that stock is down about $3.50. But it did have a huge pop yesterday. Got above $100 briefly, then pulled back, closed just below 100 last night, and now it's trading at around $94.40. So a little bit of a pullback today for Moderna.
All right. Well, good people there. So Tesla finally made the S&P 500. And the question is, Nick, why now? Why not 2 months ago? Why now? And something was afoot here. As you said last time when we discussed this, someone always knows something.
Oh, yeah, someone always knows something. And again, the stock has been chopping around really since the beginning of September, and it's been staying in a pretty tight range overall. And it's still in that range, believe it or not. It has not broken out above the September top, which was 500. So the stock currently trading at around 447, 448 at the moment. It's flopping around, but it is up 10% today, and it's a good move. But like I said, Tesla kept that underlying bid there because eventually it was going to get into that S&P 500, and we didn't know when it was going to be announced, but it looks like the announcement came yesterday, and the stock will enter the S&P 500 index on December 21st.
All right. And yeah, it's kind of just like the vaccines, like just comes out the week after the election. We have these miraculous vaccines, and I guess people were kind of like throwing in the towel on Tesla, probably liquidating, taking capital gains for the end of the year or taking some losses. And all of a sudden we get the news, you are now a proud member of the S&P 500 index.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. But, like we said, that's why the stock kept that bid underneath it. It really never collapsed. It did pull back. It had some really, really sharp pullbacks. The stock in September did go below 350. But here we are again, back at around 450. So, again, somebody always knows something. But the charts told us that something was up there. It would be announced eventually. And sure enough, it is.
And that's the interesting thing. So, because if it wasn't going to get, it almost had to, but if for some reason it wasn't going to join the S&P 500, we would have seen the price collapse, huh?
I think we would have probably seen the stock go back down to $200. So, I don't think it would have collapsed down to, a single-digit name, but yeah, I think a pullback down to 200 would have probably been in order. But right now, gets it added to the S&P 500, and on December 21st, all of the institutional mutual fund managers got to go in and buy that. So that puts a nice underlying bid in the stock, and it's holding up. It's having a great day today, I should say.
Hey, so really mutual funds are the earliest form of derivative in our stock markets here, right? They derive their value from the underlying securities that they hold.
That's correct.
So effectively, the S&P inclusion becomes a derivative play because then you have forced buyers of the stock because you own an S&P 500 fund or the top names or whatever it is, anything S&P 500, you got to buy Tesla.
That's correct.
So interesting move there. We're going to make it brief today, but we should cover gold and silver, even though there's not much of a story there.
Yeah, today gold is down $1 on the futures, trading at around 1886. Look at the GLD today, that's down just 5 cents, basically flat. And then you look at gold miners today, the GDX, that's down 42 cents. So we're just really getting a little bit of sideways action there. I don't think there's anything wrong when that happens. And like I've said, this is just a pattern that is a larger timescale pattern, and it needs to fulfill itself before it can move to the upside. So we're just getting more backing and filling, and really that's it for now.
All right. So if we say sideways silver, that pretty much sums it up?
That sums it up.
All right. So just some more backing and filling. And it's time for you to take a look at your portfolio, figure out what your goals are for next year, and take a look at Nick's site, inthemoneystocks.com. You'll get some good ideas there. You'll see his trading record, and it'll help you plot your course for 2021, which promises to be a very volatile and crazy moves. Maybe it's kind of going to be the mirror image, Nick, of 2020. So take a look at inthemoneystocks.com. Take a look at the Twitter feeds. Follow them. It's at ITMS, at Nick Santiago01, at Kerry Lutz. Email us, kl@kerrylutz.com. And Nick, we'll pick up tomorrow.
It sounds good, Kerry.
And so concludes another episode of Daily Market Wisdom with Master Trader Nick Santiago. Be sure to go to his website, inthemoneystocks.com. Don't forget the Twitter feeds at ITMS and at Nick Santiago01.